This is a really important lesson. Now, that doesn't mean that the others aren't equally important, but this really goes to the essence and core of something important for us to do in our lives. This is a lesson about surrendering. Surrendering is a word that has different connotations for many people. Some people would think surrendering as being a weak thing to do, but it takes great, great courage to truly surrender, to let go. There was a time not so long ago, which I don't write about in here because it didn't happen when I was writing this book, where there were a lot of things going on in my life, and I have this practice sometimes early in the morning before I get up, where I hear voices, not necessarily voices that, I hear spiritual lessons. And one of them that I got was, give it to me and let yourself be. Now, I thought that was kind of funny because actually I knew that was a really powerful lesson. And I often hear from my mother in these kinds of morning chats. And she said, that wasn't me talking. I figured it was pretty big, somebody big up there. And then I thought, oh, it's the rhyming God. Give it to me and let yourself be. Well, you know what? That's great advice. Let yourself be. Now, why would you give something to someone else? A lot of us think we have to be in control all the time. We think that that is how our life goes on. But it's illusion. That is not true. So years ago, Dr. Larry Dossey did a lot of research on the power of prayer. And this was solid research. There were people who prayed over certain patients in a hospital. And then there were those that were a sort of control group. They were not prayed for. None of the patients knew anything about this. But what they found is those people who received thoughts and prayers actually healed more quickly. They had better progress in healing. So what he said, Dr. Dossey, is that the most powerful prayer that anyone could give, besides praying for I hope this person is healed, was actually these words, thy will be done. So when people say, my thoughts and prayers go with you, it sounds like something that a lot of people say, and it could even be considered a little trivial, but it isn't. It isn't trivial. Now, I learned the lesson of surrender in a very complex way. For years, my husband and I cared for my elderly mother. She lived with us for many years, and she was going through the process of growing older. So, at age 98 and a half years count if you're that age, it was clear that she was not going to be able to continue to live in her body. It was giving up. She had a lot of energy, but she couldn't sustain her body any longer. And so this was a lesson about control and praying. I tried all kinds of things to ask for. I was bargaining with God, bargaining for her to continue living. And I was trying all of these things, even though I knew the hospice people told me she couldn't possibly sustain her body any longer. Until finally, we reached the point where my mother, my husband, and I all came to know that no matter what we thought, no matter what we did, it was no longer up to us. And so we surrendered. It was a very positive thing because we all came to a place of peace when she passed. It was a sacred passing because of that. So surrendering is a very powerful thing to do. And I hope that you will take some of the suggestions in this chapter, try them yourself. See what happens when you let go. And as some people say, let go and let God. Thank you.